Good evening, everybody. It is Mr. Pineapple here. Welcome to a special edition of Thursday. I'm your host. I am the CEO, formerly known as Right Brand Clothing, and our mission is to restore, build, and create. To restore all our wealth and resources back into our communities, to build up our youth and children that are coming behind us, to create a unique commonwealth of like-minded entrepreneurs to put them back in their God-given purpose and talents. And our brand values is to be fun, spirited, and passionate about everything you do. So, got some brand updates. So last weekend we was previously at the Empanada Festival out there at Perry Harvey Park in Tampa. We did an amazing job there. It was a lot of foot traffic, a lot of sales, a lot of new faces, some familiar faces. Some of our current clientele was there, but it was an amazing thing. They had plant-based empanadas too. I love eating. My diet is strictly plant-based and a vegan diet. That's my diet. I like to eat clean as possible, because of the stuff that they put in the food out here. But that's a whole nother topic. We'll talk about that later. But I'm gonna give you some brand updates and news. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull up the website right now. So if you want to go to our website, www.royalblossomcommunity.co, go ahead and scan this QR code. It's going to take you right to our website. Go to our website, check out some amazing deals. We got some clearance items on there. So we just went ahead and liquidated the bomber jackets. The bomber jackets are now $74.99. And you'll also get the t-shirt to go with it, which is the Caribbean-based Rhythm. Okay, so it's a set. Okay, so you'll get the shirt. Hold on, let me get that for you. Let me go ahead and show you that. Get that for you. Bam. Get that for you. So those of you who haven't seen this jacket, got the We Are One. There it is, the fine craftsmanship of the imprint. Also got the Caribbean-based tee to go with that. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play a quick video, and I'm gonna show you the tank tops that just came in all fresh off of the press. So let me go ahead and play the promo
Feeling the
video
heat?
for it as
Why
well.
not look just as hot? Fresh, breezy, and built for island life. Our tank tops got you covered, or almost. Grab yours now before they're gone. Limited stock, mad deals. This is your chance to level up your style. Cool looks, hotter prices. Don't wait. Shop now today.
So let me show you this. So I got them in person. So these are the tank tops. So this is the blooming lavender rose, and this is called the electric lemonade. Okay, so let me tell you the deal on these. So both of these are sold as twins, just like the Dragon Koolala and the Royal Blue Oasis. So both of those are sold as sets. So if you get those as sets, they will be $55. If you get them individually, they'd be $30. Unfortunately, since the Caribbean-based Rhythm, which is the roster colors that you saw in the previous video, that one is sold separately. That one is $40. Since that's one of our most popular ones, you can go ahead and get that one as well. So the promo code to get the $5 off of the tank tops, that would be Island 25, Island Vibes 25, and it's right on the website. When you go to the top of the web page, you're gonna see that. Also, make sure you subscribe to the mailing list. We have a new rewards program. You subscribe, you get 100 points, and that's $10 off your current order. So those tank tops will be releasing around May 8th, May 9th. So you want to go ahead and get your pre-orders in for that. And I'm excited. I am truly excited for what's about to happen. So let me go ahead and talk about our guest that is on here. Let me see. Let me pull up a picture that stuck out to me the most. Let me see. Where is that picture? That picture is right here. When you are ready to change, you will expose yourself to the type of change you desire to be, do, and have. Don't play yourself. Level up, Sister Naira. Let me tell you something. Something like that sticks out to me is about, the mentality that we have in our community, not ready to change, always looking for the politicians to change, the city councilmen to change, and anything in our community. It starts with us in our household to change. So you want to always change the mindset on the way you think. And this is why I had to conduct this interview, because we're going to be trying to change some minds, some hearts, some souls here. We want to get this message across about, repairing, okay? Because one of our sayings is repair broken communities, and I had to bring this sister on because her mission and my mission align very closely. And without further ado, so I've met this sister in the community over the years. We have been in a lot of events throughout the years. We have done so many events in St. Petersburg. We was at the Collard Green Festival. We had different markets. I'm talking about the energy is always high. She always got some motivational, positive things to say. She's been in the community for years. They're doing some things and they're trying to change lives for the better. So before I bring her on, I'm going to play one video before we get started.
And the way you can begin to trust yourself is
check
really
this out.
Go through, learn somewhere you can spot yourself and find out where you are and change condition. There is no mystery God. We done tried that mystery God. Now, if Allah is dependent on us to become functioning gods, because he said, I did not, through the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I didn't come to make a nation of followers, I came to make a nation of gods. Well, how are we functioning in present time as a god? Look at the Willie Lynch letter, and he talks about the black woman, Sister Captain, and he says that we become frozen, a psychological state of independence. And frozen means to be unchanged, unmovable. Basically, you're not in present time. You can't change. So now somebody trying to change the conditions that we've been comfortable in, and we don't want to destroy those parts that we're comfortable. Healing comes in becoming made uncomfortable. See, we was uncomfortable, many of us. I'm telling the truth because I was the same way. Coming into the church, I was talking to do what? With who? White people? What? No, not doing that. But thank God I was able to get out of the comfortability to become comfortable and being able to learn about myself. I'm speaking our language because it's important. It's important to heal. It's important to come in and get some tools and then go back out. I'm not asking you to stay. Come in, get some tools, then go back out, and let's make ourselves and our communities a decent and better place to live. But I gotta trust myself before I can even begin to trust other people.
Listen, without further ado, let's go ahead and bring this sister on. Let her bring the heat herself. Hello. I'm gonna let her bring it herself.
Wait a minute, you surprised me. I'm like, oh, it just so happened I got on the same color. And I mean, when we in divine alignment, come on now. This is just divine alignment. Y'all, this was not planned. I didn't know he was going to share that video. I didn't plan on wearing this. I was trying to figure out what I'm going to wear tonight. And then, same thing. Holy Spirit just led me with this green. Even when I went there, that's in DC. I was like, what am I going to wear? Holy Spirit told me to wear. So that's how I know. Because, we always have to, come on, Royal Pineapple. We always have to check the spirit. So, God has shown me that we're not alone. Come on now. Everybody that's listening to us, lean into the God of your understanding. Even if it's the God within yourself, we are not alone. So I just want to say I'm so super happy to be here to share a space with you, to not just collaborate and connect with you, but for us to be able to make this world a better place. And I know, especially when we got the black men and black women coming together, it's going to save humanity. So thank you so very much for having me here on your show, sharing space.
Oh yeah, that's what we had to do, man. We in here repairing the black family here. We here to repair some stuff. You know, here to get some
Yeah,
stuff taken care of. So tell everybody a little bit about yourself, where you from, and your current spiritual path right now.
absolutely. So I am from the city of St. Petersburg, Florida. Proud resident of St. Petersburg, Florida. Born and raised 727. I'm born and raised in 727 in 727 in St. Petersburg. That's pretty much where my family has been generations ever since they came from Georgia. Of course, you know, all of everybody pretty much came from Georgia. So we've migrated to St. Petersburg, Florida. I am the eldest of five children. My dad was a legend in St. Petersburg. He was known as one of the fastest men in St. Petersburg. Shout out to my daddy, rest in peace, Bo Cat. My grandmother was one of the first business owners in St. Petersburg. If anybody knows, maybe the old people, older elders, they know that my grandmother was one of the first business ladies, John Baker's bar on Third Avenue. So when I say that, people know who our family is connected to. We have a big family on both sides of my family, my mother and my daddy's side. Um, I, I am the eldest of five children. I'm married. Everybody know my husband, Brother David. Married, founder of the Repair of the Black Family. Have five beautiful young adult, productive children. Uh, nine grandchildren. I have nine grandchildren, and I am definitely a student follower of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan in the Nation of Islam. We have structure and protocol, which is military because we God's army. I'm a student captain emeritus in the women's class, and also a student in the ministry of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. So that is my spiritual path as it relates to my discipleship. I am a disciple of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. And of course, as you know, and as you was always able to see, I do have other modalities that I study and apply in my life. And I'm sure that we'll get into all of that.
Okay, that sounds good. Sound like you out here working. Like you determined to change some lives. I know a lot of stuff that happens in the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. He does a lot of different teachings, and he always has been teaching the truth. Throughout the years, and I know in recent years he had his Facebook and Instagram taken down recently, and because he was speaking so much truth, so we gotta shut him down because that's how he's doing some great things, especially with Reza too. Keep on shutting his pages and stuff down because he's just telling the truth. He's not doing no harm to anybody, but he's just exposing you know things that happen in our society throughout the years, and they don't like it, so they'll try to silence you in different ways. It's
Can't silence the
unfortunate,
minister though.
but you can't silence him. He's still
You
going.
you
He's
you
still
can't
on the.
silence the minister because you can shut down the page, but you can't shut down us. So you know.
He can't do it. He can't do it. He cannot do it. So tell us, your vision and your mission behind your entrepreneurial path and your repair of the black family. Can you tell us about how this came about? Your how long you've been doing this and your entrepreneurial journey throughout the years.
Oh, beautiful question. Well, the repair of the black family was given birth out of pain. I lost my dad in 2001. He transitioned from this earth and this earthly realm. And when he left, Brother Pineapple, I fell into a deep, dark hole. Like I was there, with all of the family and all of the love and everything that I was doing in life, but I was stuck in mental grief and pain. Every time my dad birthday would come, I would literally physically get sick, and I would cry and I would question God. If I would remember him, it was the same thing when his transition date comes. I'm pretty sure many people can relate to this type of story. Like I could not when his transition date, I found myself at the graveyard, like, why daddy did you leave? Because I'm just a daddy's girl even to this day. And I suffered in silence. It wasn't something that everybody knew about. It wasn't like I was walking around and you could tell that I was in grief. I was very good at masking it, but I actually became physically sick behind it after a few years. and I was diagnosed with so-called fibromyalgia, but we all know that that came from pain, right? Stuff, just the body turning on itself. And so, when I'm going through something, I never stop crying out to God. I call him Allah. So I was just praying to Allah, help me, because I'm a mother of 5. I have my husband, but there was times I just couldn't function. There was times where my husband would have to, because I was in so much pain, I have to nurse me back up into reality. And so I'm getting somewhere here. So the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, carry on down a few years later, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan introduced to the Nation of Islam this tool called Dianetics, which is the modern science of mental health, right? And I wasn't gonna go the medication route because my dad was addicted to painkillers and all of these things. So I knew that I wasn't gonna take medicine, and I was always trying to find something holistic. So when Minister Farrakhan gave us this book, Dianetics, we went in as a nation, and many of us went in because he told us. When I say went in, meaning studied it, he told us to do it. We're very obedient to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan. If he suggests something, it's an instruction. Whether he just suggests it or not, we're going to do it. That's how much we believe in this man telling us the truth and leading us to truth. And so when he gave us that, my brother, while studying it, I had one session, because it's therapy, it's mental health therapy. Remind you, I said I was just stuck in 10 years of grief. There was no help for me in my mind. Okay. My daddy is gone. But I had one therapy session where somebody just actually listened to me, asked me questions, listened to me. And it blew. Like I was alive again. From one session, I was alive again. I can see again. I can hear. I can feel you from one session. And as a result of that, I mean, it's much more, but I'm just going to shut it down right there. As a result of my healing, I was able to go back to my last conversation with my daddy, where he said all of the men in my family could have made it, but drugs, alcohol, and crime and all of the things stopped us. So I just wanted to stop with me. Okay. And my dad, when he left, he was in prison, right? He said, I just wanted this to stop with me. So when I came out of that dark hole, I was reborn again. And I seen a new light. And out of that new light gave birth to the repair of the Black family. Because I took what my dad said he wanted to stop, look back over his life. He has suffered from mental illness. My family has suffered from mental illness, right? Here it is. I went through it for 10 years, suffering from mental illness, and I had one valid therapy, something that I believe even to this moment that my family had been praying for, and it gave birth to the repair of the Black family, not just with the mind, but husband and wives coming together, mother and children getting along, father and sons getting along, and so much more to the family dynamic that we need help with. But the root of all of our problems is our mind and how we think and how we've been conditioned and how we've been a victim and how it can be ... We can fill in the dots with whatever. But to come out of that and have a new life and begin from going from victim to problem solver, oh, that was healing. And I just didn't want it for myself. I want the world to feel that we truly too can have a family. And we don't have to suffer at the things that was never communicated in our families, but we're actually going through it because nobody told the stories. Nobody told the stories for us to be able to look at the stories from a viewpoint of a problem solver. So the repair of the Black family is a solution to the problems that we suffer within our families, regardless to race, class, creed, or color, regardless to religion. We all got problems. And guess what? They're universal problems. And I can truly tell you this, that the Black man and woman struggle, it mirrors one another. So the vision is, what can we come to the table with and solve our own problems? That we're not looking for someone else to solve our problems. We're coming together as a people that is God's. So says scripture. You know, I'm a scriptural woman. You know, ye are all God's children of the Most High God. I don't push religion on people, but I'm just speaking my truth, right? If I'm a God and I'm a reflection of my Father, that means I got to be able to solve problems like a God, right? So I like to come to the table and let's get to the root. What's really bothering you? Come on, brother Roy, Pineapple. Most of us, I'm gonna be quiet. The vision is get us from being in the past. Because 75% of our attention, 75% of our thoughts, we are stuck in those things that no longer serve us. So my vision is, how many people can I get to come to present time and not operate from that old self to come up into that new self without the social veneer? Because I had that. You would have never known. And a lot of us, we could put on a pretty makeup, we could do all that, but we show up in pain. Okay, I'm done. So the vision is, let's bring the family unit back together. The vision is, let's restore some core values. And if you have some core values, let's make sure that everybody in the family know the core values, right? The vision is, let's stop hiding the secrets, okay? Because my auntie used to bake. Oh God, that lady knows she could bake some cakes, but she took the recipes to the grave. She did. So nobody has the cake recipes, okay? Because she didn't want to tell her secrets. Well, that's a cake secret, but there's some more secrets that needed to be shared, and some of us were victims because people didn't tell the secret. So let's go ahead and uncover the secrets. Let's repair the family and get the healing going, and go to total freedom of ourselves and what we got to go through. So I hope so I've been in business. Answer your question. It's been a business about. I keep looking back because my husband over there, you know, I give it up for my Black man back there. I kind of always lean to him, you know. But the business aspect has been in business over 12 years, but it's really, it comes under the title of a business, but truly it's a mission. So when you support the Repair the Black Family, you're literally supporting a mission. And it definitely stems from my training in the Nation of Islam. However, that's the core principles, but it's not of the religion. Does that make sense?
That makes sense. That makes sense. Oh man, you said a lot there. There's a lot to ingest. I want to say about first thing that really stuck out to me about our relatives taking secrets to the grave. We got to stop doing that. We just have to, especially when it comes to generational wealth. We gotta stop taking that to the grave. We gotta stop taking family recipes to the grave. We gotta stop taking family traditions, values, and customs to the grave, because we need these tools to pass down to the next generation. And it's sometimes just across the diaspora period, uh, a lot of that happens. Just like, I'm gonna just be selfish. I'm thinking about myself, my needs. I'm not leaving them behind because I don't want the next generation to prosper, either because they don't know no better, or they might be just jealous of the next generation because they're in a better position than they was. But each generation is supposed to be better. It's supposed to get better. Your lineage is supposed to carry on. Nobody in our community should continuously be starting off from scratch. It defeats the purpose. I'm like, when you said all of that stuff, it made so much sense. And I appreciate you sharing all of that, all your testimony and your journey, what you've been through, and you, at least you went to therapy and you identified that there was a problem. Most people in our community don't identify that there is a problem. They'll try to, like you said, they'll cover it up with makeup, lashes, BBLs with the ladies. The guys, they'll cover it with smiles. They'll cover it up with just work indulgement. Just just to keep themselves busy. Sometimes some people in our community specifically, they work 2-3 jobs before they'll go address their eternal pain, like whatever that's bothering. It could be a loss of a loved one. It can be, a toxic relationship, with somebody in your family, your mom. It can be with your spouse, your children. And instead of us really sitting down, taking a breather, and actually talking out the problems, because there actually is a lot of healing in talking out your problems and letting it go. Because a lot of times what happens with people in our community, we tend to just hold it in. We don't want to feel shamed because we operate in a sense of pride. And shame is the opposite of pride. So when you have shame, you begin to heal and let all that stuff go. And especially when you're talking to therapists, the best thing to do, always just try to look for somebody that looks like you. For the most part, when it comes to all fields, when it comes to your dentist, to your health care professionals, your therapists, all of that. So when you do that, you should feel like you have a safe space. And if you don't, just go off to the next one until you find a safe place to where you be at. So that way, when you get out of there, you have to drop that umbrella that somebody gonna judge you, because those people are there to help you and help you heal and get to the next level. And in therapy, it's not one of those things that's a wham bam thank you man. It's a process over time. It's you go there, you sit there for an hour and you talk, and then you gotta go home and actually do the self reflection. You actually gotta go home and do the work, writing in your journal, addressing unhealed trauma. Meaning, if you gotta have some difficult conversations, you gotta have those difficult conversations, no matter if they receive it or whether they don't receive it. All as you know is you let all that heavy baggage go, because what God has in store for you, He can't give it to you because you weighed down from all that stuff in the past. Like you said, we living in the past. We reliving something that already happened. And I heard it saying one time, like, when you constantly have something in your past that you keep reliving, it doesn't even exist no more. It just happened that at that time you in a new you in a new day, and it doesn't even exist no more. However, but sometimes some people just don't know how to let things go. And when you let things go, it's just better. It's just a lot better for your heart. It's a lot better for your spiritual journey. And also, when you holding on those grudges and not letting things go, you start causing yourself health problems, blood pressure,
Absolutely.
obesity,
Absolutely.
stroke, all that. That's coming. It's not coming from not necessarily the food. It's coming from what's happening in your mind, because it's releasing all those toxins in your body. So once you release that and you release your detox, and you'll just feel a whole lot better. And people will say that once you start going through the healing process, and people say, God's anointing looks good on you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that was one of the that was the power of Dianetics for me. Um, is because in there I learned about how the mind makes the body sick. We always for the most part, people attribute it to those external forces, right? Oh, I'm sick because I was eating the wrong foods, but everything has a spiritual component to it and is deeply seated and rooted. And a lot of things that we go through, yes, you are the one, but it's at a cellular level. Our grandparents or somebody in the family has went through it, and the more we can change our mind, we get to change at a cellular level. Some people know it as epigenetics, reprogramming our cells. But in this time period, the more we can change the thoughts, we get the like you said, we get to heal the body. So absolutely. And two points, and then I'm gonna be quiet here. Conditioning. We have been conditioned. What goes on in my house stays in my house. Don't want to talk about it. Right? And we can say it's a lot of old sayings. It's a lot of old sayings that we play out right now as truth. Okay. What goes on in my house stays in my house. Automatically, we don't want to talk. And trust. Okay. Trust. Don't trust so and so. You don't even know so and so. Right? So don't trust. So now we don't know, as you were seeing, we don't know who to trust. But the reality of it is we don't know how to trust ourselves. So I mean, it's just so much. And I truly believe in mentors. I believe in coaches. I believe in getting therapy, valid therapy. I believe in your spiritual house, whatever it is that's gonna get you get you to get rid of some of that stuff, let's get rid of it. But it got to be effective. Because we not listen, we don't. Okay, brother Pineapple, let me be quiet. We done been
You
playing a
good.
long
You
time.
all right. You all right.
We done been playing a long time. We tired of being played with, and we tired of playing games, right? You're living in a generation with a generation of people now. We want answers, we want solutions, and we want, we want to be productive in this time for the next generation. So, you know, uh, we got to be open to the information that's going to not just create change, but drastic change. And the number one thing, and I'm gonna be quiet, I want everybody that's listening to me that has the ability to take a mental note or write this down. The number one thing that keeps us from change is fear.
Mm.
Fear. And however that fear shows up for us, fear keeps you from changing. It restricts you. So teaches the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. Fear will restrict you. You can have the answer sitting right in your face. And if you are afraid to try or to do or whatever, that's why it says, that's why my quote said what it said. If you're afraid and you want to stay with the norm and don't want to be uncomfortable, the type of change that you need and want is not going to happen. You might get some change, but the drastic change, it can't take place to the degree that we need it to take place to get rid of that old mentality. So that's what I would say. That's just my viewpoint and my experience.
Mm. It's true. You gotta be willing to change, and you have to be willing to keep your mind open. Because usually, when people don't keep their mind open, they stuck in their ways, and you shouldn't be stuck in your ways. Because when you stuck in your ways, there's no room for growth. And a lot of times in our community, it can range from just different aspects of life to where you used to doing certain things a certain way, especially when it comes to business. Like we know this because we in it because we've been at a lot of events, okay? Because we talked to even to some of the vendors, even some of the old heads that try to come shop with us. For example, so no, well, shit, let me finish. Hold on, let me finish, because you know where I'm going with this. For example, when the guys come up to the vending table, you tell them the price, and you say, you know, you got card, you take card payments, you take PayPal, you take Venmo, and you don't have any change with you because you have cash. Sometimes we just don't have it. So some people just only pay with cash. I said, do you have any other type? We take all different forms of payments. And all you take, you don't want to be tracked. But I'm like, but you couldn't get the product because you couldn't get cash, or vice versa. The vendor only takes cash payments, but you leaving so much more money on the table because you can't service your people because you got this 1970, 80 way of doing processing payments. And you know there's so many things in technology that can benefit you instead of looking at it as a tool of evil and looking at it for a tool of good. So it's just like money, right? For example, when you pull out a dollar, right, or you pull out like a $5 bill. I'm gonna pull out a $5 bill. So you got this $5 bill, right? This $5 bill it's not good or evil. It's the wielder behind it. It's just the same thing with anything else in life. It's the wielder.
Okay, I think we lost him. I'm gonna wait right here so he comes back. Okay, yep, we did lose him. So I guess I would carry on. Carry on. Yes, I see somebody say listening to Sister Naira has got me curious about Dianetics. I know I can use those tools to better myself and how effective that science really is. I highly, highly recommend that you actually get the book and read the book for yourself, get all the way through the book and apply the book. And yes, Brother Khaled Roberts, the book definitely helps. So that's definitely what I would say as looking into that book is definitely a tool. our brother, we lost him, and he was talking about money. He was talking about um, money in money. So and he was talking about the vendors and how people, okay, there you go. Okay, I was about to carry on. How people come up to our vending tables and they don't have the money. They don't have the money, or they don't want to use the modern science, or the modern technology. As I think over that, and in my experience, I do see that most people are, there we go, brother. I was about to say fixed in fear in your last comment. There we go.
Can you
Let's
hear
give our
me?
brother. Yes, I hear you now. You have fell off, brother. Can you hear me? We can hear you. Yes, no, I can't hear you now. No. No. I can hear you. You want me to leave out? Me. Okay. All right. So I'm gonna leave out and come back in, y'all. I think he should leave out and come back in. Okay, so I'm gonna stay right here. That's what happened when you're powerful.
What's,
Okay, can you hear me?
I can hear you. I can't hear you.
You can hear me?
Mm-mm.
Okay, good. We can
Go
hear
in and
you.
come out.
I can hear you. You can't hear me?
Hold on, let me chat. I don't know why we can't hear me. All right. Can you hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear you.
Okay. I can hear you. Let
And
me
you can
have my
hear me.
husband. Yes.
That's weird. What the heck? I don't know what happened that quick.
Can you hear me now? My husband said he can hear us. My husband can hear us.
All right, I'm back on. Let me. See. I think it. Let me see if you can hear me. I think the camera. Can you
Yes,
hear
I can
me?
hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes.
I can't hear
Yes.
you.
The audience hear us.
Try to refresh your audio.
Okay, can you hear me?
Mm-mm.
Okay, hold on. The audience said they can hear us.
Mm-mm. Anytime this thing act crazy. Hold on. Let
I'm
me
about, I'm about to just leave
let
out.
me email you another link. I don't know. Can y'all hear me? I don't know why I couldn't hear her. For some reason, I could not hear Sister Net. I could not hear her. But y'all can hear me. Put a comment put a comment in there if you can hear me. Can you hear me? I want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. I want to make sure y'all can hear me clearly. For some reason, you can hear me. Let me see if I can
Yes.
hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes. Yes.
I still can't hear you.
How do I look at my volume, babe?
Hold on. I don't know what's going on.
The audience said they could hear us.
Let me go in and come out.
Okay, well, there you go. Oh, I don't know.
Go ahead and speak.
Yes, I can hear you.
I don't know what happened.
Can you hear me now?
I don't know why the audio went out. Hold on 1 second.
It's on over here. And the audience is saying they can hear us.
Speak again.
Yes.
We might have to restart this thing. Let's try this one more time. Alright. I'm back on. Let me see. Sorry about that, people. We just having some technical difficulty. I think it's my computer. Might have to switch devices again. Sorry about that, everybody. I don't know what's been going on. Hello?
Mm-hmm.
Now I can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Whoa!
Oh,
What was that?
I don't know.
The power.
That's how
That
you
was
know
the
people.
power.
That's how you know we talking about some stuff that people need to hear. That's them technical difficulties.
It's the power.
The power. But yeah, I'm sorry for all of that, people. It just happened. Things just happen.
It's the power. I don't find it strange.
Hmm. So where did we live? I was talking about
We
the
was
money.
talking about money.
Yep, yeah. I was just saying the money was just a tool. It's not the. It's not the. It's just the wielder. It's just the wielder, and people just have to understand like nothing is good or evil. It's just how you. It's the perception that goes with
Absolutely.
anything that you live in life. It's the same thing with different religions. It can be. It's all about perception and how you take it. It all depends on the representatives or how is representative. But let's go through some of these comments.
Currency.
Go ahead.
Current money is currency. It's a flow. So whether it's paper on debit cards or whatever, it's still a current. It's energy.
I like this comment. I didn't realize how much you resemble. I appreciate that. I've been getting that a lot lately because of these new glasses. You know what? Maybe it's time to change some things like he did. Signs of mental health wants to give us a beautiful gift. Absolutely. Jealousy is a disease. What's your take on that?
Well, I do know that it's prevalent, right? I know that it is a thing. And I do understand, trust me, I understand that it's a form of self-hatred. Okay. I understand that, you know, we were we were conquered and divided. Okay. We were conditioned. We can go back as far as we need to go, but I really like to use for myself the Willie Lynch letter. Okay. Some people say it's not true, but if you just look at the after the residual effects, it pans out to have truth in it. Okay, some people say it never happened, but just look at our condition today. We were separated, we were divided, we was pivoted amongst each other, light skin, dark skin, small, big, long hair, short hair, north, south, east, west, plantation to plantation. And we were just, it was the making of a slave. It was conditioning. And I'm just talking about our sojourn here. And a lot of that stuff still exists. Sometimes people they jealous and they don't even know that they jealous. You understand? Like, you jealous, you hating, you don't even really know that you hating, you don't even know where that hate come from. But the truth is self-hatred. That's why I fell in love with the teachers of the most honorable Elijah Muhammad, because it got me to take responsibility. So if I was hating on my sister, no, it's only because I haven't seen the best part of myself in my sister. You understand? So jealousy is real, but that's self-hatred. Envy is self-hatred. It's just because whatever you see in another person, you ain't found that best part of you. And we haven't learned to appreciate and honor that which we see in another person, whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's individuals. It's really because you see that part of you, or you see that gift in you that somebody else is expressing, or they're doing it, and we just have yet to hone in on that. So jealousy is real, but that right there can be eradicated. Jealousy can be eradicated. And I'm going to tell you, for me, it comes with a lot of self-love and self-compassion. So when you see it, you don't react, you respond. I'm going to say that one more time. When you see it, when it manifests, whether it's in yourself or outside of yourself, you don't react to it. You respond to it, right? And you respond by love. That's my motto. And it's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. It's not easy to do. We don't believe in a mystery God, and this ain't no fairy tale talk. We got to get right down to the real deal, right? A real deal Holyfield. And so the first thing is again, I have to refer back to my way, and people can see it in their mannerisms. The most honorable Elijah Muhammad says, he didn't come to make a nation of followers, but a nation of God. So when I see you, I see God. When I see my sister, I see God. God means force and power. So I have to and had to learn, because I ain't always been this way. I'm straight out of St. Pete, the Berg. Okay. I had to learn. I had to learn how to love myself enough that self-hatred became self-love. And the more I learned self-love, I'm gonna say that one more time for everybody in the background, because I know we had some technical difficulties. That self-hatred became self-love. So in that self-love, now I can love my brothers and sisters as I love myself. So jealousy is real. And it's only because we're underdeveloped mentally, spiritually, emotionally, and dot dot dot. Financially, underdeveloped, conditioned, fixed. But we don't place blame. We got to get into understanding. And all thine getting, get what? Understanding. That's all I'm saying. Okay.
Understanding. And a lot of people, all that stuff that you said, that was great, and people don't understand operating with the 10 life value system, meaning if you operate with your spirituality first, meaning that you fix your relationship with God, all that other stuff in your life will be fixed. Is you fix your spirituality, then you fix your health, and all of that stuff will repair itself.
I
And
love that. You said it's the 10 light system.
10 life values.
Oh, life values. Okay.
So what happens is this sister that I listen to all the time. Her name is the Crimson Cure. She talks about it all the time. She's a Muslim sister. She talks about a lot of stuff that happens in our community. And the 10 life values is like a set of internal values, and then it goes to the external values, and then they have a lost value system to where you put your external values first, then your internal values at the bottom. So it's like a pyramid. You put your spirituality, your health, family, and then all that other stuff goes before that. And then on a lost value system, you put wealth, your profession, all of that other stuff is reverse. And in our community, it operates in that form as a lost value. You put in the wealth, leisure, all that stuff. All that stuff is at the bottom. So when you your external values come, they don't come before your internal value. They don't come before your family. It doesn't come before your relationship with your God, the relationship with your spouse, your family, and all of that. And a lot of people put the external values first because we've become materialistic as a people when it comes to cars, houses, trying to impress people that don't even like you. Okay, to prove that you have money, which you really don't. Because wealth is quiet. Riches is loud, wealth is quiet. Wealth is about when you building a legacy for your family, building stuff for your family, you're helping other people, you're empowering, you're enriching people, and you're doing things to better your family and your community around you. You're not just flaunting and just going out here buying jewelry just because I got it like that. That's the fastest way to the generational poverty, and that's, you can't leave no legacy. It's like one of the things that what people talk about sports and entertainment, how they go broke just like that. They go broke so fast because they spend so much. You continue spending, and you're not disciplined with that money because you never had it before too. And a lot of us don't come from wealth and stuff like that. But at the same time, it's about when you have that relationship with God, you have that understanding. This is, it's my money, but it's not my money. It's my money to use for the betterment of His kingdom. This money is used to empower my people. This money is going to use to pass it on to generational wealth. It's also in the book of Proverbs talking about you passing your generations to your children's children, your grandchildren, people that you may not even meet. You changing the trajectory of your family lineage, to changing your family tree, and just changing their destinies and making them successful, so they can take it on, take it and pass it the baton, because eventually you ain't gonna be able to do it but so long, but you gotta pass it to the next generation. And it always starts with putting God first and fixing your relationship with them.
Absolutely. I totally agree. I totally agree.
Yep. So tell us about tell us about some of your um, things, not your things. Tell us about some of your what's the word I'm looking for? Tell us about the hats that the repair of the black family. What hats does your organization wear? Because I know that you're a motivational speaker. I know that you're in the health and wellness. Which hat would you like to discuss first?
Well, I'll tell you this. I heard this quote recently: where the woman goes, the culture goes.
Yep,
Okay. And
pass down,
I'm sorry?
pass down the
That's right.
culture.
And it mirrors the quote from the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, where he says, "A nation can rise no higher than its woman." And when
Yep.
you talk about the family unit, all family, with the specific focus on the black family, you have to focus in on the black woman. In order for us to get to where, as you said, spirituality, but God wants us to be, we have to help the woman to reframe her mind that is attached to Satan's world. Some of it is by choice and some of it is by force. And so the hat that I wear, that I'm wearing currently on this call, is the focus in on helping the woman get reconnected to her nature. You titled this show Fashion and Family. Well, when you think of the woman, she is the story of the family. She's the culture. The destruction of the family unit can be measured by the woman. The rise of the family unit can be measured by the woman. And so my hat as the repair of the black family, I do go after the woman to help repair the family. Because it's true, Brother Pineapple, 75% of the work is with the woman. 75%. So teaches the most honorable Elijah Muhammad. These are the core values that was given to me, that I was able to come up out of the city of St. Pete and stop fighting women, stop hating on women. Yeah, that girl. You understand? And really love and fight for the woman. That if people see me in the streets right now, when they see me at these festivals, they be like, "That's Tamika," right? But it's a principle. It's a principle. I live by principles now. The woman needs so much attention, not the attention that this world is trying to get us to be involved in, social media. Not that. We need guys, we need the God in us to be attentive to ourselves and to our families. And fashion does play a part. The woman got to be retaught, re-educated, reformed. And so I'm just going along with the title of the show because I could go a long ways with this. I have a long history of being refined. But just dealing with the topic of your show, fashion and family, we have been away from our mother's dressing room for over 400 years. We don't know our culture. We don't know our language. We don't understand our God. We didn't come over here as slaves, but we was made into slaves. So when you see a woman like me, automatically it's a turn off for the woman of this world today. It's a turn off for most black women because we forgot our mother's dressing room. We forgot that Mary covered her head. We forgot the ancients. Go to Egypt. I took people to Egypt. The women look like me. But when we walking over here in America, you see a person like me in St. Pete, oh, that's just the Muslims. No, that's righteousness. Fashion, the woman cultivates the society. I'm not gonna downgrade anything, but I'm just gonna bring up pictures right now. If I say Naira, you see this, that's a culture. If I say Cardi B, culture. If I say Beyonce, culture. If I say Queen of Four, culture, you start seeing different images. That woman and the way she carries herself shapes the family, shapes the community, shapes the world. And it's all about what mindset is the woman leaning into. We get on social media, right? Either we're going to present righteousness or we're going to present what's fashionable according to the world. And most women, I'm going after the woman right now. Most women, we on the social media, we want to show our butts. It's just we undeveloped. I'm not criticizing us. We undeveloped.
You good?
We don't want to show our minds. We want to show more of our behinds. The tighter, the better. When we was brought over here, we was put up on the auction blocks. The first thing they did was strip our clothes off. So to put on clothes seems unnatural. Fashion. They want to take our clothes off. They don't want to put our clothes on. So my hat is to re-civilize the woman. To re-civilize us for the kingdom of God. I'm not saying everybody got to put on a headpiece. I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, it says that a woman in 1 Corinthians 14, chapter 11 says a woman with a head cover. She walks with authority. So what's covering your mind, your mentality? What words do you have in your mind that when people see you, they see the new civilization? Because the old world is gone. It's gone. And the woman of today is shaping the new world for the next 2, 3, 4 generations. The children are going to look back at us. So it's all about what do you want to communicate? Fashion. And I'm not just talking about clothes, but fashion dictates the family. Okay. I'm going to say it one more time.
It does. And it's funny. Remember I was talking about the 10 life values? So I'm going to read them to you. I'm going to read you the first 5. Spiritual, health, family. Guess what number 4 is?
Woman.
Take
woman. Fashion. I don't know.
Nope.
Okay.
Appearance.
Okay. How you look?
Dwelling.
Come on.
Number 5. So appearance, meaning that everything that you say is part of the 10 life. The first internal values is the way you present yourself, the way you conduct yourself, the way you carry yourself. It also says in the Bible about a woman dressing modestly.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure which scripture it is, but I know it talks about that.
Yeah.
And you just brought up another scripture about the headpiece, and you walks around with authority.
Yeah.
Appearance, fashion, appearance is fashionable. Right now, it seems in a worldly way that it's fashionable with the ladies with the BBLs. You know, they got the butts out, they got the chest out. And it's funny that you said that all of that is all down your Facebook feed, fighting all that stuff, but something positive that's going to change your life. They want to try to censor it.
But we censored it. So social media, it said, what's on your mind? We censored it. It's not on our mind to be righteous to the degree that that the God is calling us forward. So of course, social media is going to censor it because the people don't want that. The people don't want to see righteousness. No, because if we did, we would duplicate that. We duplicate what we want. And I'm just talking about the undeveloped people. It's a lot of good people out here that's not just in the nation. I'm talking about abroad, everywhere. But what I'm saying is principles. What I'm saying is we have to reshape our communities. We got to revalue our communities. We got to revalue, and everything starts with the woman. The man is the head, but the woman is the cornerstone. She's the cornerstone to the family. She's the cornerstone to the community. So just dealing with the principle of law of fashion, when we start to fashion our mind after God, we fashion in the family. And we gotta be unapologetic and bold and beautiful. That I'm walking with Christ. I'm walking with them. I'm talking with them. And we can have fun and be beautiful. You know, we can't be superficial. You know, for me to dress in the ways that I dress and cover myself is healing. We always talking about healing. But when I could put back on my clothes when my ancestors was stripped, and I could put my clothes back on, I'm standing for them. Because they were stripped down and they was put up and people had to turn them around and lift their breasts. And that's where we get that stuff from. Lift breasts, butt out. They want to see that. So when I put my clothes on, I'm standing for them. And I'm fashioning my mind, and I'm fashioning my family, and I'm fashioning the next generation. And guess what? I may not see it all come to pass, but I know that there's a new generation of women that's tapping in and bringing forth our ancestors. That's why everybody is becoming so woke. But what are we becoming woke to and for? So we got to reconnect. It says in the book of what book is this? Malachi. See, Elijah comes to reconnect the hearts, turn the hearts of the mothers and fathers back to the truth. We got to reconnect back to the ways of the ancient, but now be in present time with the God of this is where we are now of righteousness. And I'm not saying that you got to be spooky and believe in a God externally. However you believe, but can you and I cultivate the God in us? And listen, Brother Pineapple, and I'm gonna get off the subject because I get so passionate. I love helping with the Black family. We gotta go to war for the hearts and minds of our people. It says we war not against flesh and blood, but spiritual. That's spirituality, spiritual wickedness and rulers in darkness of high places. The highest place that we can war with is our own minds. We got to war with our own minds. That's the highest form of what we warn against spiritual wickedness and rulers in dark places. We suffer from depression. We suffer from anxiety. We suffer from grief. We suffer from all these things. You got to go to war with that and put some light in it.
That's true.
And we can't be okay in being social. No, we need reform. I mean, you could be social, but you get the point. You understand? What I'm trying to say is don't be so, we so into, but we need classrooms. We need classrooms where women come together. We have them in the nation, but we need it in the community. That's what I'm establishing with the Repair of the Black Family. Women coming together, we learning. That's my leadership and development. Can you be the leader within you? You got to become a leader for yourself before you can lead anyone else. And so women got to come and we got to develop that leader within ourselves, right? Then you become the leader in your family. Then you become the leader in your business. Then you become the leader in your community. But we suffer from low self-esteem that when somebody say leadership, oh, that's not for me. No, it is for you. And we need more women to stand up and take that rightful place and be the leader, starting with themselves. So my focus and my hat right now is helping the woman to focus in on herself, to come back and recultivate herself, to be reformed, be re-educated, and deny Satan, deactivate from Satan ways and world, and be okay with being different. Hello, somebody. Be okay with that.
That's true. That's true about being different. So I have a quote that I always go by. Once you discover how unique you are, you begin to change the world around you. So nobody is meant to be the same. Everybody is supposed to be a unique individual. There will be none before you, none after you. So understanding God gave us all different purpose and talents, and everybody made you specifically to obtain a specific purpose and talents. And this is something also I want to piggyback off stuff you said about, a lot of our sisters in the community. This is how they operate in a lost value system. So the reverse of it is putting wealth at the top, leisure, profession, education, mobility. Then they put their internal values, dwelling, appearance, family, spiritual, health, and spiritual last.
Made woman. We was made that way. That's why we are psychologically frozen. and we become independent on a dependent upon a system that's going to keep us frozen, stuck, and unchanged. And that is a system. That was a methodology, a foolproof method. Willie Lynch, go back and read foolproof method. Okay, and we could go all the way back to scripture. Okay, principle woman now. Go kill the male, spare the female. Put the woman out front, keep the man in the back. Kill the male, spare the female. So the woman is always put out front. And the one thing we are put out front for is our minds. So let me educate her. Okay, so when these systems educate us, now we lean into the system of their education. But when it comes to God education, it's near the background. We'll quote scripture, we'll go to church, but the reform come out of the church or come out of the houses of God, and we still doing the same thing. Been in the club the night before. How you know now you're been there, done that? I needed structure. I needed somebody to pull me by the hand and say, this is the way of God. Knew God, but the way was something totally different. And we don't have to, the beautiful thing that I love in this time is we don't have to put a name on it. Let's just go by principles. That's why I keep saying I'm a principle woman. I'm righteous. I'm practicing righteousness. So you could be Christian, you could be Muslim, you could be Jew, you could be nothing, you could be Scientologists, you could be whatever. Just let's practice righteousness. Let's come together on common causes of righteousness. So when you named all of that, what I hear, what that sounds like to me, I'm not saying for everybody else, and I'm not saying that I'm 100% right. I'm just saying that I know that this is a righteous concept according to what we have been taught. When the woman gets away from the God, she becomes man's woman. I love my husband, but I am not his woman. I am God's woman, and God gave me to him. That's order. As scripture say, do everything in decency and order. So when you said about the reverse, well, we have been we are women. The household has been reversed. Role reversals. It has been reversed. And this is a hard truth. I promise it is. But it's not to devalue my people. It's to wake us up. We all need wake up messages. Everybody needs a wake up message. And then to whom much is given, much is required. Now, what are you going to do with the new knowledge that you have or the knowledge that you do have? Don't shut the door on truth and righteousness to be fashionable. No, open the door, open the closet, and put on the new robe of God. Put on the new garment. And I'm not just talking about this, though I love this, because this headpiece represents authority. This headpiece represents I don't belong to God. I mean, I don't belong to man. I belong to God. That's what it represents. And it is not just this. It's what's on my mind. I have supreme wisdom. And I have to undergo a system, a laboratory to be reformed and reshaped and become a new woman. That's what we need. We need new women on the planet, not in body, but in mind. Behold, he, God, makes all things new. What do you have right where you are? No matter what religion, no matter what community, no matter what state, no matter where you at, men and women, but I'm talking to the women. What process do you have to undergo to become new? What principles do you have to apply to become new? Because every day is a day of elevation. And if we elevate in Satan's world, education, jobs, and all of these things, then we're not elevating to get ourselves closer to God. That's spirituality. That's spirituality. My grandmother was a very spiritual woman. She didn't claim religion. My grandmother was a spiritualist. I had to lower what I knew, not lower, but like you know how they say, lower your wings. I had to go and see what my grandmother was in, because what's in me, certain things come out and I don't know what that is. I'm a seer. I can hear stuff. What is this? But I had to get reconnected. What principles are you going to study that's within you, that things that come out that's not always you, or things that's come out that's you, but it comes from your ancestors, and we don't know how to connect with that. because we are in a world that is not going to even allow you to even think on that level. Because now they're talking about your witchcraft, your voodoo, your all these things that's so, so far from what it really is. You're scared to tap into your own power. I don't know what made me go there, but I have to listen to the Holy Spirit. When Holy Spirit talk to me, I just have to listen and just cast it all joy. That's just what that is. No, tap into yourself. You are so powerful. You are so beautiful. Greatness is within you, but you got to be, connected to greatness to continue to develop greatness. That's why we are tribal people. We've always been tribal people. So whatever tribe you in, whatever tribe you connected to, that's how you're going to be developed. Okay.
It's the truth. That's the truth. So tell us about how is it fashionable to heal yourself and fashionable about the food and nutrients that you put in your body.
Oh my gosh. It took me a long time to really understand how to eat to live. As you know, right now to the day, we love some soul food. We love some soul food. Okay, we love that potato pie. And that mac and cheese and all these different things, but it's fashionable to be healthy because the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak. That goes back to spirituality. So as we are strengthening our spirits, we need a body to carry this spirit. And so I have a lot of work to do. And I need a body that's going to carry me to get it done. That's fashion. Your body is the clothing to your spirit.
She said it, I didn't say it. I've been saying this for multiple healthcare professionals. I didn't say it. She said it. She just reconfirming everything that I've been saying with different guests that I had, with the guests that I had with Miss Kosi and Miss Latasha and Johnny and Beverly and a lot of people. I keep bringing on in moderation, keep bringing on people that's in the health and wellness field, and she's a huge part of it. And the funny thing is, you don't get another body. This is the only body that you get through this life. If you got high blood pressure, you got diabetes, you got all these underlying conditions, there's no way that you can tap in with the creator because your body is so out of whack. You can't focus. You can't focus on nothing.
The frequency of your body, the frequency is off. Yeah, so we need to get How to Eat to Live. How to Eat to Live is one of the principal books that I use by the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. So much good stuff out here. I love detoxing. I love juicing. My sea moss.
She got that sea moss on.
My sea moss. I'm a herb. I love herbs. Herbs for real, for real. I take burdock every day. But you gotta tap in and know your body. I listen to my body. I listen to my body. And we all have that past life. When I say past life, meaning that life before consciousness, that life that we just didn't care, and then all that stuff start catching up when you get older, and then you got to go back through the reversal process. So I'm going through the reversal process because I ain't know all this stuff when I was younger and having babies after baby after baby. I had 5 children before I was 30, and I didn't even realize it until I was older. Dang, I really had all these children before 30. My mama them used to say, girl, stay home, you're going to have a setback. Back then I didn't care nothing about none of that stuff. Had C-sections and was up, walking out the door and, not covering my neck. I thought all that was, we need those principles things, right? These days of time, they push you out the hospital. But guess what? When I got older, my body started feeling it. Used to hear the old folks say, ooh, when it rained, my bones aching and this, that, and my knee. Okay. If we don't take care, we gonna feel these things. So it's fashionable to be healthy.
She said it. I didn't say it. She said it.
Yeah.
She's telling you because she got everything at her 10. She has well, black seed oil.
Black seed oil,
She has sea moss. She has
sea
different
moss,
soaps and
different
everything
herbs.
to keep you. She
So
has literature. She has journals. Everything that you can use as a guide to slowly weed you off of the soul food, aka slave food. You know that way. You know because that stuff is not too good for you. It's not good for you at all. Just keep it. I know y'all want to hear that, but look, this is we want. We
my
want.
mama cooks soul food. My mama cook it at
Oh yeah, she
Amina.
do. That's
My
so. Food is
my
good.
mama cook it, but I have to tell my mama, Mom, I know it's good. It'd be so good, I have to deny my mama. Come on, I have to deny my mama. My mama cook oxtails. She be cooking cabbages and people love it. Yams and collard green. I'm like, Mom, please, you know. But the thing of it is at the end of the day, and the day always end. That's a little quote from the sister Glorilla. The day always end. Okay, what is your health going to be like? You know, so everything is in moderation. Everything is in moderation. Just don't overdo it. You can eat healthy food and overdo it.
Yeah, you sure can. There is a such thing as eating too much of something. There's a such thing as drinking too much water. There's a such thing as eating too much sugar. There's a such thing as overeating. There's a such thing as eating too many fruits. There is such thing.
Everything is in moderation.
Everything's in moderation.
And know your own body. Know
Know your
your
body.
body.
Yup. Eat them ribs in moderation. I see you on this
Wait
live.
a minute.
I see. I feel it in that spirit. I felt people in the spirit. I know y'all be eating them pork ribs. You eat them once every 2 weeks. Okay,
Okay, well, I can't
just
agree with
scale back.
that.
Scale back. You ain't
Okay.
gotta do all that.
However you do it. I used to eat them a long time ago.
You destroy like six ribs at one time. Just all at once.
Until I learned how to eat to live. Longevity is what we going for. How long do you want to be on the planet? You know, Methuselah lived to how old?
Who?
Methuselah.
Oh, he lived a long time.
Okay. Well, we started counting back, cutting back, because you know you could determine how long you want to be here physically if you want to. Okay, but maybe I'm getting a little bit too off topic, but yeah.
You okay? All of it is about what we're talking about. So tell them how they can find you and your products and how can they purchase some items from you. So you got any workshops or anything coming up?
Absolutely. So number one, I this is for the women because I've been talking to the women mostly while we've been on the show because we're dealing with fashion and family. Um, for the women, I am launching my Leadership Academy, Leadership and Empowerment. April 12th is going to be live on. It's going to be via Zoom. It is an academy where you would get uh, family. You would get training dealing with mindset, family, and business because y'all, you know, we need the money to fund the vision. Okay. So Leadership Academy, Leadership for Women, Leadership and Empowerment. Also, I have an all women's group. It's members only. It's $9.99. In the Leadership Academy, I forgot how much it is, but y'all should go to my website. So I do have the April 12th Leadership and Empowerment. I am super, super excited. Women Heal on Purpose, Leadership Academy, and the women's group, where we come together every Thursday and we meet via Zoom. In addition to that, for the people that's in St. Petersburg, you all heard me right here talk about this modern science of mental health. I am having a seminar where I'm going to introduce to our city April 19th and 20th, a 2-day seminar live in person with Brother David and Sister Nayura dealing with your mental health. It's a 2-day seminar. It includes your food, your materials, and your ability to learn about this technology of Dianetics, which is a modern science to mental health. I would say put down any fears that you may have, anything that can keep you from learning something that can take care of your mind. Okay, so that's going to be April 19th and 20th. It's a true investment. This is $250. However, for those that's listening to it today and you say that I heard it right here on this program, we'll drop it down to $199. That'll include both days, your food and your materials, and your ability to receive valid therapy on that day. All right. We're going to give you something that you could walk away. You're going to walk away with something that you can use every day in your life and help your family members. Okay. So 80% of Black people, 80% of the Black culture right now is suffering from mental health, suffering with their mental health. So April 19th and 20th, y'all can see it on my social media pages. I know my husband is listening. Maybe he could drop something in the comments. But that's the things that we have going on right now. The leadership. Get my workbook. Sisters, I got a workbook out here. Okay, get the workbook. Okay, so you can show up and do the work for yourself. Get the workbook, get the journal. We're on Amazon. We're also on my web. Yeah, go to my web page. Go right there. Get my workbook, Heal on Purpose workbook. All right, and that's basically all we have. If y'all want the CMOS, y'all know we got the CMOS best ever per my review, best ever CMOS. So you can get the CMOS, the Black Seed Oil, and all those beautiful things that we have right there on the Repair the Black Family. And also, while I'm talking, for those of you that's of my community, you're listening, please shop with my brother. I love his clothing. They are absolutely beautiful. My husband and I, we support him all the time. So if you could put your web
Oh,
link back
oh
up
yeah,
there.
you got. Oh yeah, absolutely. We're gonna put the website back up.
Yeah,
So everybody, you
my
gotta
community, I
scan
would
these
love for my
codes.
community to support you.
Yes, you gotta scan the codes. It'll go right to the website. Let me tell you, scan these codes. I'm gonna put her back up. So go ahead and scan the codes. I haven't seen y'all scan these codes. Scan this code so it can go to the web. It goes directly to our website, and you can purchase everything that you need off of there. Your courses is on there too.
Yes, everything is
There
right
it
there
is.
on the website. Everything. And you just go to shop. We do, we do get it for the low too, because we have those sizzles and afterpay and PayPal. We make it convenient for us as the people. Okay. So at checkout, you can get all your stuff um on sizzle and all those things if you challenge with that. All right. So our website is www.repairtheblackfamily.com, and his website, he just put it back up there. So yeah, that's what I would say. And I want to say this, that everything that I've said, brother, is meant and directed towards change, right? I'm very intentional. And I do believe that we are the power because we are the culture, right? As a people, as a community. And we really have to put more focus on our principles as a community, as a people, as a culture. And, when we rise, the world rises. Everybody mimics Black people. So we just have to know what it is that we're communicating, what's fashionable, what's real fashionable, especially if the Father's kingdom is going to be established right here on earth. How do you want to be presented in the kingdom? What do you want your legacy to be? When somebody think of you, what do they see? What do they hear? What do they feel? Maya Angelou says this: people will forget what you said, they may even forget what you've done, but they
Right.
will never forget how you made them feel. Okay. And I'll say this: it takes a lot of courage to help people to feel good. It takes a lot of courage to help people to change their minds. It takes a lot of courage to get people to level up to God status. And that's what I'm all about. That's what Repair the Black Family about. We're not pushing religion, we're pushing God. Okay. So you can lean into your own religious beliefs, your own spirituality, but all of us have to level up to the standards of God as a community, because we are leading our people. We're leading the next generation. These children right now, when you think about suicide, these children, they checking out of here. They feeling depressed. They feel like they can't even come to most of us. So we got to be an example. We got to set a good example and be competent, so that our children, we can close the gap with the elders. We can close the gap and they don't feel lost, like we don't want to tap into them. The elders, we should sit at their feet and we should ask them questions. Stop trying to tell them what to do. Ask questions and learn all about ourselves, because when you ask your elders questions, you learning about yourself. So ask your elders questions. They don't have to be your grandma and your auntie. Go ask somebody else, grandma, auntie, because we need a blueprint for civilization. We need to get the things that work, and the things that didn't work, that's where the healing comes. Let's go for the things that work. And then I hope, then pray that one day somebody will come to me and say, well, Sister Naira, what worked for you? What worked? Because we all got our own story. But there's a story. My story got some ups and downs, round and rounds. But I could truly say every day, God blessed me to come up on top. So when you say, Naira, how you doing? Blessed and highly favored, because that man's still shaping me. I'm talking about the man above. Okay. And he didn't leave me comfortless. He left me with Minister Farrakhan while he's here in his teachings. So that's all I have to say on that. It's fashionable to be righteous. It's fashionable to be principled. And that's fashion and family. And we are all the people of God, the body of
Yeah,
Christ.
there it is. Just gotta let that marinate for a few minutes. You gotta let that marinate in there. You know, they gotta soak that in, and that's good stuff. Absolutely, that is good stuff. I got one more video. I got one more
Okay.
video. Yep, I'm gonna play it. Yeah, you don't know which way. You look, you don't know
I
which way.
know. I don't know what you coming with.
Like, I threw you off with that green. I
Manifestation,
already knew what time it was.
it means clear or obvious to the mind's eye. Ooh, ooh, right there. Or the mind. You got to be clear. Manifestations meaning that you have clarity in your mind, clarity in your vision. I'm going to give you a scripture. Where there's no vision, the people shall perish. So if you can't see it, you don't have it.
There it is. About vision. Being a
It's
visionary.
about vision. That's a manifest class that I did. It's online. It's on my website.
I like, look, this is about creating a vision. We both here in the community trying to cast a vision and get people back together, bring our communities back together in a healthy way. But it also starts with us having an upfront and honest conversations with ourselves, fixing our relationships with our family, fixing our relationships with, most importantly, with the Creator God Himself, and it just feels better, To we want to get back to where everybody was fellowshipping together, getting back to the where the ladies used to cook together. Everybody used to
Village.
watch each other's children, and everybody used to, have a sense of community. Everybody used to go one. It used to be one church and community. We all used
That's
to go to
it.
church. One church.
One
You know,
church.
one church, and everybody got along. Everybody did this, but we have to get back to that. And only way we're gonna get back to us is we gotta start the healing within and doing the spiritual work and having the upfront conversations and just healing from our hurt. And there's also an African proverb that says, "If there is no enemy within, the enemy without will not do us no harm."
Mm, that's say that one more time for me.
Okay, so if there is no enemy within, the enemy without can never do us no harm.
Wow. Wow. Love it. Period.
That's it.
That's it.
That's all
I
we
mean,
got.
I think you opened up this whole thing. I learned a lot today from you. I have really learned, and I love being a student, and definitely love the ten life principles. Is it 10 life?
It's okay. So the 10 life values. So I'm
10
gonna tell.
life values. That I just needed to know the name, but I learned. I wrote it down, but I'm just saying I learned that, and definitely want to like look into that and see that a little bit more. I love takeaways, and that's my takeaway that I got from this particular call. That truth is universal, and no matter where you are, if it's truth, it resonates, and that truth resonated with me. So thank you for sharing.
No problem. And I'm gonna read it for the audience. I'm gonna read you the 10 life values, starting with the internal. So it starts off with your spiritual, health, family, appearance, and dwelling values. Those are all your internal values. Your external values would be your mobility, education, profession, leisure, and wealth. And the lost value system is everything in reverse.
Fashion and family.
Fashion and family. That's what we hear. We operate with spirit and God first, then everything else. That's what we're doing. Okay. So, how do they contact you if they want to get some products? And can you tell them how to
Yes.
contact you?
Yes. So To be a part of my community, go ahead and text the word heal to 727-337-7808. You can say with update 727-337-7808. Text the word heal. Also, you can subscribe to my website. Go on the website. We have, shop with your sister. We have a bunch of different things. And then follow me on social media. My Instagram is sister_Naira. Of course, if you're watching here on Facebook, it's Naira Tavika Muhammad. And I'm on TikTok. I forgot what I put my name on TikTok. But I'm here. I'm on YouTube. Heal on Purpose on YouTube, Repair the Black Family. I think it's Repair the Black Family / Heal on Purpose. I do have a podcast. I took a break, but I'm about to start that back up, a Heal on Purpose podcast. I believe we have almost 100 episodes on all of the major podcast streaming. Yes, sir. So we're going to get back to that. And so I'm always doing events. I have an event coming up in the community dealing with mothers on May 13th, I believe. So it's a lot of different things. But if you just stay on my social media, follow our business page, Repair the Black Family on Facebook. But if you just follow my social media, I pretty much post everything that we're doing out there. But it's always good to subscribe to our website. And on our website, we do have a family quiz. Okay. So if you go on there, it's free. You take the family quiz. We'll give you your results. We can show you the areas that you need support and your strengths and the areas that you need support in. Okay.
Okay. What's your YouTube page? We're going to go ahead and subscribe.
Yes. Subscribe to my YouTube. I'm getting used to that part. My YouTube is Repair of the Black Family / Heal on Purpose. Let me just make sure. Okay, my husband is the one that does all that, but I'm leveling up my game. I'm trying to learn how to say it myself. Okay, so it's Heal on Purpose / Repair of the Black Family. Yes, please subscribe to my YouTube, Heal on Purpose / Repair of the Black Family. And for women, if you're looking for a strong mentor, I'm a coach. You're looking for a leader, then tap in with your sister, okay? It doesn't, regardless to race, class, or creed, or color, we need to come together, connect, collaborate, and heal on purpose. That's for the women out there.
Yep, yeah, she be traveling to all these different places in the world.
Absolutely.
They leave the men behind.
Absolutely.
Right? They just leave us behind until
I don't leave you behind now. You could go, because I got something coming up. I'm gonna be putting it out there. Okay. And I'm also a speaker. A speaker, so I do speaking engagements. So anybody needs somebody to come into their community, come into their businesses, come into just a luncheon or bruncheon. I'm a certified speaker under Les Brown.
There it is. Contact her. Oh yeah. Just reach out to her. If you can't get in contact with her, reach out to me. I'll reach out to her. We'll work something. Right. Also, subscribe to my YouTube page.
Subscribe to his YouTube, y'all.
Royal Blossom Company. You'll see it's a mix of this podcast and some fashion items. I'm gonna be putting some more stuff up there. Please go to the website, check out. We got some amazing deals on there. We also got them $5 tank tops on there. It's getting hot for them black ones. I'm trying to liquidate, get that out. We also, gentlemen, we also have the golf polos. I ain't put those up there yet, but hold on. Let me go ahead and put these. I got the QR code, so let me go ahead and put these up here. So I didn't even get a chance to put the golf polos because we were so passionate. Here's the golf polos right here. Here's the golf polo. Here's one of them. The red peanut golf polo right there. And then you got this one, the gray and black.
Wow.
You didn't see
that. Support.
So let me show it to you in person. There you go, sis. Look.
Oh, wow. Yes, he got, look, black on black, y'all. His own black business, beautiful business. All right now.
So, okay, I know y'all want to see that red and black one. Hold on, let me give you the red and black one.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, that's beautiful. And this is his brand. Beautiful.
This is his brand. So they taking pre-orders there. That should come out like the end of May. Taking pre-orders for that now. The white tank top.
I want to get one for my husband. I need him to pick his color.
Yeah, let him know. Let me know. I got you covered. I appreciate you. I'm gonna contact you when we get off the phone. I need to give you some sea moss.
Hey, you got it. My phone about to die, so call my husband's phone.
All right. That sounds like a bet. So until next week, everybody. We had a great show. I know we had some technical difficulties, but God still worked through this thing. We got the message across. Next week we also gonna have another phenomenal guest. And as saying on this podcast, you just don't know what angle we coming from. We come from all angles.
I learned that. I can bear witness. Because you posted videos and stuff of me. I'm like, what? Where did he get this from?
And I was wearing the green. And you was wearing the green today.
And I was wearing the green. Okay. Talking about trust. Yes, indeed. Look. Yes, indeed. I do a lot with that, you know, knowing who you can trust. I do take the principles that I've learned in life throughout different modalities and apply it to my life. And, you know, I could say God has blessed me to be truly successful in my work.
All right. That sounds good. All right, everybody. We are out.
Peace. Fill our purpose. Repairing the Black family. That's what we do all day, every day.
That's what we do. Repair broken communities from RBC. All of us. Take care.
All right. Thank you.